All right, how you doing, man? This is the I Test Football Podcast, a football podcast by fans for fans. I'm Cody. This is my co-host, Stan. Today we're going to do a little mock draft simulator. Stan's going to pick up on what we're using.
Yeah, we're going to use the Draft Network's mock draft machine, and I'm a TDN premium member, so we can execute trades, and we're just going to do our two teams. He's a fan of Washington, the Washington football team, and I'm an LA Chargers fan. This is something that we've just kind of been wanting to do. I think it's going to allow us to talk about some of our favorite players in the draft, and also, if you happen to be a Chargers fan or a Washington fan, you might dig it, and it's just going to be good draft talk. And we've been kind of slacking on the podcast because of we've been pretty busy with work. And
work's been crazy. It's totally going to be a Homer episode. We definitely didn't get to continue to do the divisional breakdown like we had with the NFC West. Work has been hectic, so
we're both taking off the whole weekend for the draft, so I'm thinking that we'll probably have a good amount of coverage, and we'll definitely be talking. We'll definitely probably do multiple podcasts draft weekend.
We'll probably do some live draft footage, just because get a little uncut version of how we talk football. Probably a bunch of stupid little laughs. Probably get tired of hearing that by the third day.
Yeah,
but here's some of our iconic football quotes that we don't get to put on the pod very often.
Yeah, you can hear. You learn all of our little inside jokes, and we have a lot of Adam Sandler quotes that we relate to sports. So
yes. We might have to ask for Adam Sandler trademarks. The little Happy Madison trademarks. To actually make that legal.
Yeah. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a little mock draft, 7 rounds actually, and both of our teams have multiple picks when it comes to the 3rd round and 6th round. I think
we got 7. We got 7. None in the 6th, but yes, we do.
Okay.
We do have multiple picks throughout the draft in some rounds. And
the kicker is we're each going to allow ourselves to make one trade if we want to. That way,
just one.
Yeah, that way we're not, sitting here for 12 hours, trading down 3 times in the 2nd round, to get that perfect tight end that you want.
We're going to try to make it as somewhat real as possible. Of course, this is a simulator. Our players might be gone, so whatever idea we have in our head. I mean, the cool thing about this is it's kind of based off algorithms, man. They have a really good format that they do, especially when you are a premium member, man. He sends me mocks all the time. It's a little it's a daily ritual, man. And he sends me my team. He sends me his team. Sometimes he does opponents' teams that he doesn't even like.
Yeah, I think I've done a couple Kansas City mock drafts where I've had to take Alex Leatherwood in the 1st round. It's just very appeasing to my heart. But anyways, we're gonna just hit play on the mock draft machine, and we're just gonna hit pause, and whatever happens. If the Jaguars take I don't know, Justin Fields at number 1 overall, this is just what we're going to go with. And,
we're going to make it like a real day. Who knows? Who knows what happens?
So I think without further ado, let's just hit play. Let's hit play on this thing and see how it goes. So the Jaguars took Trevor Lawrence,
Zach Wilson, and Justin Fields.
I think that's
top 3 overall. I think that's interesting. It's not the DJ, NFL Network, Matt Jones at 3. But I think that's it's a very real thing right now. I think it's picked up more steam that Justin Fields is more logical than number 3 off of his abilities.
I think these next 2 picks are going to be a very good indicator of what's going to happen because
now it's
I'm basically just waiting for Kyle Pitts and Penny Sewell to get drafted so I don't have to trade up.
It could be that, or there could be some could be some other teams moving up to 4, 5 or 6. So it's about to get live again.
All right, I'm hitting play. Okay, with Pitts, Chase, and Waddle.
Okay.
I don't think that's that ridiculous.
It's nothing off the
Falcons
possibility.
Took Pitts, Bengals took Chase, and Dolphins took Waddle. So we're gonna keep So who's available? Okay, we have Sewell still there at 7. I'm not trading up for Penny Sewell. I just don't want to trade up for somebody who didn't play.
I think it's very interesting that Joe Burrow is going to get Jamar Chase, from his national title run. There's going to be a chemistry there. Something I always get into with the draft, man, and me and him talk about it a lot, is I like doubling up on players from the same team. Even if it's not in the same year, the year after, a player that another player is very comfortable with, man. I think it really helps, the development with players. You come into a training camp session where you're a rookie, you're kind of nervous. You kind of come in there with one of your guys that you've been, you guys went from being the big dog on campus to, now you're a rookie trying to earn a spot on the roster. You have a friendship, a little bond, kind of helps in the locker room, I think. Of course, the Washington football team does it all the time with Alabama and Ohio State. We're pretty much the Washington, Crimson Buckeyes at this point. But Well, Detroit's on the clock,
The
so
Los Angeles Fighting Irish.
there you go. Hey, it's a real thing.
All right, 7. Let's see where Detroit goes. I'm thinking this is where Sewell comes off.
I'm pretty sure that's where.
Yep. It went.
Ooh, okay. I kind of like this. I kind of like where they went with this. It's Sewell to Detroit, Slater to Carolina, Trey Lance, number 9, to Denver, man. I think that's a pretty good discussion point right there.
So Mac Jones is falling.
Mac Jones is falling, and then you got Patrick Surtain to Dallas.
So we got Gettleman coming up with the Giants.
And then you got Bama corners back to back for Dallas. I love both of them, honestly. Stephon Diggs' brother, Patrick Surtain. I think that's a formidable opponent.
Him and Trayvon Diggs are going to hold it down in Dallas for a while.
Plus, I like the idea of Trey Lance going number 9 to Denver, man. I think they're sold. Not maybe sold on Locke, but they didn't want to. From everything that I've heard, from checking around the internet and all that, like through this process, is apparently Denver had one of the best offers to Detroit for Matt Stafford, but they would not come off of Drew Lock,
right?
Which almost gives me some kind of inclination that they almost have faith in Drew Lock to where they were like, man, we want to get Stafford, but we want to have Lock learn from a true pro. Maybe they just feel like Stafford being in front of this guy, they can make a run, they can compete with the team right now, but it also gives them a way to have Drew Lock, learning from a consummate pro, somebody who's been through the ups and downs of the NFL and been through some issues with accuracy and things like that. That some things that Stafford went through early, where he didn't have a guy to learn behind. Just little interesting tidbits on that from what I'm seeing.
All right, so let's see what the Giants and the Eagles go, because
then it's your pick.
Yep. I'm going to decline all these for now. We went J.C. Horn and Devontae Smith.
Man, dude, talk about the NFC East just getting 3 players that just I love. J.C. Horn and Devontae Smith. That's there's three guys that I do not want added to the NFC East as a Washington fan.
Now Mac Jones is available. I wonder if a realistic idea would be to trade down right here. To a team that wants Mac Jones. I just declined offers from New England and Chicago and Washington. So I think there's teams that want to move up for him. And honestly, I think there's been rumors that the Cardinals want to move up for a wide receiver, but I don't think there's a wide receiver here worth moving up for. Devontae Smith just went. I'm going to stay true to my board. I'm going to take Elijah Vera Tucker. And Elijah Vera Tucker is my favorite offensive lineman in this draft. He's nasty. He probably, I think, the best run blocker in this class. And he may not be an impactful tackle in the future, but I think he's going to be a very impactful guard who has potential to play tackle. Dude. But I'm not drafting him to be the left tackle. I'm drafting him to plug and play as a guard for the next 12 years on this roster. The Chargers have had abysmal O-line play for pretty much my entire existence as a human being. And I'm ready for this to be addressed. I like Darrisaw a lot. I really do. But I just think that the upside of what I like in offensive linemen is there with Tucker. And that's been my guy all through this process, and I'm going to take him.
And without entertaining those trades, man, you didn't even want to move back a couple picks and even take a chance on him.
No, because I think the Vikings could be all over him.
No, I agree. I agree right there. Watching Zach Wilson on the TV right now spending on his pro day is pretty impressive.
It is pretty impressive.
He's
I like Zach Wilson.
He's definitely earned his draft stock.
Now, is there any chance that Washington wants to move up for Mac Jones?
I'm going to hold. Since luckily, I get a little say in this Washington thing. Luckily, I don't want to make a trade up.
Well, there's two. You guys have 3 trade offers. Carolina wants you guys to trade out of the first round. I don't know if you want to do that. Do you?
To pick 39 and pick up a 2, a 3, and a 6.
That's not bad, but
what are the other offers?
You got Kansas City's offer.
Kansas City at 31, man. That really
3 and a 5.
A 3 and a 5.
Chicago's wants to move up 1 spot.
Let's go, man. Kansas City puts me right about where I wanted to really go with this episode. I feel like I could almost still do it moving down to Carolina, honestly, but yeah. You know what? Let's stay in the first round. Let's stay in the first round and do the Kansas City offer. So, as the Washington football team, we're going to move down right here. We're moving down to pick 31.
Do you want to at least see who's on the board? And then, or do you want to just...
let me see who's on the board. Who's on the board, because
we can always go back and propose a trade. Okay, this is how the draft went. It went, after we picked, the Chargers picked, it went Landon Dickerson, 14. I think I spoke that one into existence. I was talking
I was about to say because you were about to talk. You took Elijah Barrett Tucker right out of their right out of their grasp because that's who they would have went.
As you guys can see, I've done this quite a few times.
I can tell. Caleb Farley to the
Cardinals. Mike Jones went to the Pats.
Micah Parsons and Jalen Phillips.
Wow,
honestly, man, that kind of tells me that there's some players available right now that honestly I'm probably in love with. Honestly,
is Darrisaw still there?
Zayden Collins, Christian Darrisaw is still there, man. Honestly, so let me just keep it real with you, man. If in the real world, Christian Darrisaw is probably the pick. I love him, hometown guy. I would be elated with Christian Darrisaw. For the sake of this show and for the sake of what I want to do, I'm still moving down to 31. Passing on Christian Darrisaw right now is really, really hard for me. Zayden Collins is available. There's Koromoa available. I mean, there's a lot of good players right now that are definitely worth this pick at pick 19. But I'm going to move down.
Were they offering a 3 and a 5?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so Washington is now going to be picking 31.
So we're moving down to 31.
Yeah, we're just going to let the
we literally passed on Christian Darrisaw.
Denver won. No, we only said one trade, so I guess we'll make it easy on ourselves. Wow. Jamin Davis and Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah.
Wow. But you know what? For the sake of this show,
I mean, he's not anywhere close. You might as well just fucking type it in. I think he's ranked 89. So are you going to take Kellen Mond?
I am.
Okay, well, good draft.
I am literally passing on Jamin Davis, who is a monster. Love Jamin Davis. Honestly, if we took Jamin Davis at 19, I'm not upset.
Okay, this is about to get muted. The phone lines are off the hook.
I think as soon as he typed in Mond, the phone started running off the hook. And the reason I'm going Kellen Mond. I want the 5-year option on Kellen Mond. I think he's worth a first-round selection. Honestly, I'd pick him at 19. The fact that I really could, on draft day, I could see us picking him at 19. I think it's not being talked about enough that he might go in round 2, whatever the draft, national draft rating is that they have him at. Like, dude, Travis Etienne is still there.
I know.
Wow, dude. Anyway, Jamin Davis, man, monster player. I like him a little bit more than Koromoa just because of size, very similar speed. Both are very instinctual players, man. Both can cover amazing. Like, honestly, the difference for me is size and the fact that I really love the way that the Kentucky coaches are coaching these players coming out of Kentucky recently, man. They are really starting to make a name for themselves at that program. And they're coming into the NFL pro ready. They might not be winning games like you would think, but they're really teaching their players the fundamentals that NFL players need coming out of college. So the reason I went with Mond is Mond is my guy, honestly, man. I've watched more tape on him than, honestly, dude, it's crazy, man. To watch this guy progress over his career, that's the guy I want to roll with for the next 5 years, man. Honestly, it's probably 10 years because I think on this team, man, I think he's going to be a special player. We just added some picks, and we'll see what we do with him, man. That was my one trade, and that was kind of where I wanted to go with this. Like I said, I probably could have traded down to Carolina and picked up an extra second, the third and all them picks, but
getting that 5th-year option is kind of
the 5th-year option is what I wanted, and Kansas City was a team that I was looking to propose a trade to. So I mean,
let's see what Kansas City took with that pick. I'm curious.
Kansas City took Darrisaw. I mean, honestly, dude, Darrisaw was worth the pick. I would pick Darrisaw. And Kansas City needs an offensive lineman. That's why I think this is a real live. I think this is a scenario that nobody's talking about, but I mean, I'm talking about like next Thursday when the NFL draft is going on. I could see this happening. I could see Kansas City won that tackle, on the rookie deal. I want Kellen Mond. I think he's that dude. I think he's rated up on my grades. He's rated up there with those guys that are going ahead of him.
I mean, I think we both like Mond, and I think everything that needs to be said about him, I think
he's going to prove. I think he's going to prove it. I don't even think it needs to be said about him anymore. I think what he's going to show on Sundays when he gets on that football field, I think it's going to speak for itself. Especially on this team with Terry Mack, Curtis Samuel. Dude, I love our defense, man. And honestly, I know we're a linebacker away, but and passing on Jamin Davis, it really hurts. But nah, man, Kellen Mond is that dude, man. You go for the quarterback.
All right, and now we're at pick 47 with the Chargers' first second-round pick. We only have one. And there's a couple of players here that I kind of didn't expect to see. I didn't expect to see Travis Etienne and Javonte Williams there.
Right, dude.
Definitely didn't expect to see Etienne. And
no.
But honestly, I kind kind of already have my mind made up that I'm drafting Asante Samuel Jr.
That's your boy.
I really like Asante Samuel. I think maybe he gets knocked around. He might get knocked for being a little smaller. And he's actually kind of a physical corner, and the fact that he's a little smaller may scare teams away from wanting to draft him. But honestly, I think he's extremely toolsy. I think he can fit zone or man coverage.
He's a little undersized, dude, but I'm telling you, man, he moves amazing, man. He is very sticky. Very sticky,
very good
man.
tape. NFL bloodlines.
Physical cornerback for a guy his size, and then you talk about a guy that can also play zone and just watch a quarterback's eyes in zone like his dad. Like, he definitely has that trait. Like, he's a beast, man.
He's explosive.
Right.
He plays the ball well. I just think he's an all-around good player, and Florida State's been pretty good to the Chargers when it comes to secondary. So
yeah, I mean,
that's
pair him up with Derwin James, man.
Corner. I mean, I think it's maybe BPA at a position of need for the Chargers, and now we are at Washington with pick number 51. And
man, this is kind of this is a hard thing for me. So I got pick 51, and then where's my next pick?
Do you guys have 3 third-rounders now? Because your next pick is at 74.
Okay.
And then you guys are picking at 82.
Okay, so I'm going to actually go with a player that I'm a little bit more worried about than the guy that I would normally take. The guy that I love Javonte Williams, man. That guy's a stud, and I would love to have him and Gibson just pounding the shit out of defenses for the rest of my life. Like, honestly, but I really care about football because this is the highlight of my life for football, at least in my age. But I would probably go Wyatt Davis here, but I'm not going Wyatt Davis. Wyatt Davis, honestly, you got Brandon Sheriff, man. I really feel like it's a very similar player. I feel like you would move off of Brandon Sheriff because, why play the comp pick game, man? I would try to move Brandon Sheriff actually in this draft and pick Wyatt Davis. That would be my ultimate goal. But since I can only make one trade, I took Kellen Mond. I got the quarterback. I'm about to get the quarterback in my defense, and I'm going Jabril Cox.
That's the first name that jumped out at me. And I think that's a great pick. Jabril Cox might be the best cover linebacker in this class.
Yeah, Jabril Cox is a monster. Dude, if you're looking at what Cormo does, if you're looking at what Jamin Davis does, as hard as it is for me to miss out on a Jamin Davis, like, honestly, getting a Jabril Cox from Notre Dame State and LSU, watched him a lot at Notre Dame State, breaking down Trey Lance, breaking down just like, I love small school guys. Jabril, he's a monster, dude. Monster. I got the quarterback in my defense. Now I got the quarterback on my offense. I really like where I'm going. And honestly, dude, I'm about to just light the world on fire. Like, I love the world right now because honestly, I'm getting my guy. Brevin Jordan, man. Don't even got to think about this pick. Don't got to look at who's out there after him. Like, I see Chad Surratt, but we got a linebacker. Love Michael Carter. Would love Michael Carter on this team. But this is an easy one for me. Brevin Jordan. Brevin Jordan is an explosive playmaker. I know he has a little bit of injury, whatever, but coming out of the U, I'm a U guy. Richie Grant would be a stud pick here.
I know. I'm thinking about jumping the Giants and just getting him. I really want Richie Grant, and we're only 3 picks away.
Let me see. Before I stick my foot in my mouth, just make sure that somebody that I'm okay. Yeah, I'm definitely going Brevin Jordan, man. I just can't pass on this pick. It's pretty easy for me. Get myself a quarterback, give him a pass-friendly target and tight end, to pair with Logan Thomas, who really came on good last year. I mean, I'm going to have 2 good tight ends, man, and 2 good explosive athletes out there at wide receiver, and I got 2 pretty dynamic running backs, as far as can catch the ball and do things with it. And then Antonio Gibson, he's a horse, man. Let's see him get a little bit of explosion back from Memphis last year, man. I love it. So what are your Chargers doing? Going to make that trade?
No, it's looking like Richie Grant.
He made it.
He did.
There we go.
It's either Richie Grant or Janarius Robertson from can I go Florida State twice in a row? But I think Janarius Robertson might be the most underrated player when it comes to the edge position this year, maybe other than Ellerson Smith. He has great length, very toolsy. He has multiple moves, and I just kind of have a thing for players from Florida State.
I tell you what, man. Since you're on the Florida State, man, I don't really know where he's rated on this website, but
83.
No. Where's that D tackle that we really like from Florida State, man? I know we've talked about him a lot. Marvin Wilson, man, he's a stud. Let's see where he's rated because you want to talk about Florida State, man. I know the Washington scouting
24.
Okay, so you still got a little. Yeah, you got some time. You got some time to come back on that.
Yeah, but I have another player that I really like for the inside, the interior of the defensive line. I'm going BPA right here. I'm going Richie Grant.
This guy's a stud, dude.
Honestly, Derwin James, Richie Grant, and
how many times did I tell you?
Asante Samuel Jr. and Michael Davis.
How many times did I tell you to turn on UCF, man? Richie Grant's a stud.
I mean, honestly, if 3 out of my 4 defensive backs are from Florida, then I'm pretty okay with that.
Right. I mean,
like just from the state of Florida.
I mean, that's DB Haven right there.
Yeah, and you guys are coming right back up again with pick number 82, and I feel like you guys just go BPA at this point. It's just take a player that you think is going to be an impact player.
Well, the fact that Michael Carter's still there, I was just talking about him earlier, but I talk about a lot of guys that I pass on, and mention them about 5 times before, whatever comes around. But I do want to see what's available at safety. Can we actually break this down?
Yes, you can hit position and go to S, and that'll just literally show you all the safeties.
All right, so we have Nazar Dean, and I know my boys rated down there, in the 85th round, but Darius Walsh and Andre Cisco, Stevens. So clearly, Highland is not available.
No, he went.
Okay, so I'm gonna wait a little while because I can get my boy. Let's go back to the overall. Yeah, might as well go BPA again. Not exactly what I planned. I really like to address the trenches.
There we go. Okay. Let's look and see where we are at with y'all. So you guys have Mon, Cox, and Jordan. Okay.
Mon, Cox, and Jordan. Love it. Would have really liked to have gotten an offensive lineman at some point with my top 3 picks, but I couldn't pass on Brevin Jordan. Looking at the board right now, the offensive line that I'm seeing,
James Hudson from Cincinnati.
James Hudson is there, man.
And if you look at the tackles, I think the drop off is
at Hudson.
Yeah. I mean, you got Jackson Carmen from Clemson, who I think is more of a guard.
I mean, Walker Little's a big physical guy, but he's not exactly what I'm looking for.
From Notre Dame, he has upside.
I think I'm going Hudson here, man. Let's go Hudson.
I like that pick.
I like the pick. You got your quarterback, man. You want to have a guy that you project as a tackle moving forward. Moses is kind of getting up there. The guy that we have there is definitely not a long-term solution. Cornelius Lucas.
And you guys are picking again.
Okay,
94.
Well, I'm going to. I can't pass on him a third time. So, Nazar Dean is sitting there though, but we kind of got a player. We got players like that. Yep, I'm going Michael Carter.
It's a fun pick for you guys.
Honestly,
Michael Carter and Antonio Gibson in the backfield.
With McKissick, that kind of gives you J.D. McKissick insurance. It also doesn't make you. Too vested in Michael Carter if he doesn't pan out, if he can't, improve on little facets of his game that he needs to. I really like it.
We are getting into the sweet spot for edge. Ooh, okay, wait, hold on. Where is my next pick? Okay. I think I know what I'm going to do.
What round are we in?
We are in round 3 still.
Oh, dude, I got all these players in round 3?
I know.
Hello, dude. Kellen Mond, thank you. Thank you for the trade.
I'm thinking of going edge here, and honestly, I think this is the right way to go because Roche is there, Jordan Smith and Ellerson Smith are all right there for me. It's just I really like all 3 of those players. All 3 of them are a little different. I'd say Jordan Smith is the most lengthy when it comes. I'd say he probably has the lowest floor. Ellerson Smith, I think, probably has the most scheme diversity. I think he could play 3-4. I think he's big enough to play 3-4 defensive end, but I think he could stand up and play outside linebacker. And I think Roche, probably, in my opinion, is a 3-4 or a 4-3 defensive end.
Hold on, your boy Ellerson Smith is there, though, dude, man. That's a hard thing for. I mean, I'd have a hard time passing on Ellerson Smith if I was y'all right here.
I know. I'm taking Ellerson Smith.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I just saw his name, and I was just thinking about him. I was like, man, is he probably already gone?
And I think I'm going to trade up if he didn't just already go.
Hello. Got the phones working.
Yes. I'm going to trade up with Baltimore because if he is... Yes, I'm moving up with Baltimore. I don't know what I'm going to give up yet. We're going to figure this out. Chargers... This is such a fun tool to use. I think everyone should go to the Draft Network and become a premium member and sign up. And I'm not being paid to say any of this because this is just if you like mock drafts and you think about the draft all day while you're at work and while you're on your lunch break or sitting in the bathroom, this is a fun thing to use. So I'm going to offer 4. I'm going to offer 6, and I think that's probably all I need to offer for the 3rd round pick. Let's see what it looks like. Might be a little bit too much to give up, but honestly, I'm going to secure the defensive line, and I'm going to...
It was accepted.
Yes,
He secured the bag.
Yes, and it is time to take Tyler Shelvin from LSU.
I like it.
And he's going to be my 3-4 nose tackle. And now we have Allerson Smith, Joey Bosa, and Tyler Shelvin. And that's all I really need for my defensive line. And you guys are up again.
All right, so I'm totally making this selection right now. It's kind of what some people would probably consider a reach. Passing on Marvin Wilson right here is really hard. It goes against everything I stand for as far as like just loving interior defensive talent that is explosive. I mean, you pair him with Jonathan Allen, Montez Sweat, I mean, you just don't have a spot for him right now. Honestly, I'd probably move on from one of my aging veterans at that point, maybe an Ioannidis, try to just think about futures, man. Just keep getting younger, keep getting explosive, and just like keep that D line like freakishly because Marvin Wilson on the Washington football team's D line is a rotational piece, man. From the interior behind Sweat and Settle and Josh Allen, man. I love it. I love that a lot. But you already know what name to type in there to look because you already know where he's rated. He's rated pretty low, but he's definitely not a low rated player. Yep, I'm taking my dude here in the 4th round because I don't care what he's rated on any of these like sites. I'm telling you, this guy's a football player, and if I come away with this guy in the 4th round,
I think you should tell him who you drafted.
I drafted Paris Ford. Paris Ford is that dude at safety, man. I really neither him or Cameron Curl they're not full-time free safeties, man, but that is a versatile, safety room, man. I mean, you got Landon Collins kind of coming off the Achilles, man, which kind of gives you a little bit of versatility, but honestly, dude, going forward with Cameron Curl and Paris Ford, man, those are two instinctual football players that both can cover tight ends. Both will just come up and lay the wood, man. Those are just football players, man. And I'm telling you, if that's the back end of my defense with the William Jackson edition, that's who I want.
Now we're getting a little later in the draft. We're in the 5th round now, and so I have to do a little bit more scrolling because I only take players in the end of the draft that I really like.
Oh, of course. I mean, you're looking for what you want, not what everybody else is,
And I think I already saw who I'm going to take. I think I just forgot who it was.
I'm not going to lie, man. Passing on Christian Darrisaw and Terrace Marshall was kind of hard for me. Then passing on Jalen Davis again.
Yeah. I'm thinking getting a Herbert a weapon over here. We've done a lot on the defense, and
I definitely like the idea of that.
Thinking there's a couple wide receivers that had pretty good Senior Bowls that are sitting up here. Josh Imarabe, I think I might have butchered that, from Illinois. He's great at eye-point football. Shai Smith.
Where's
Felton?
No, Clemson.
Amari Rogers.
Amari Rogers, dude.
I think he already went.
He possibly.
Rogers. Does Rogers have a D in it? Rogers.
I think it's just ROG.
Oh.
I think his is actually maybe it's not. Yeah,
I think he already went.
He definitely already went.
I mean, this is the 5th round.
Ooh, Rashad Weaver is sitting there at the edge, though.
Ooh,
hello.
I know.
You know how I am about the Pitt players, man. That Pitt defenders, man. I just love them. Paris Ford and Weaver, they jump off the tape to you, man. If anybody that watches a Pitt game, I'll tell you ain't got to watch very long. You'll see them guys jump off.
I took Demetric Felton from UCLA. I kind of like the idea of the Chargers taking, players from, California schools, keeping that pipeline. And last year we took Joshua Kelly. And I think Demetric Felton, he'd just be a fun player for us to use in our offense. Use him kind of like how the Chiefs use Tyreek Hill. You have him take, like jet sweeps, and I don't know how much upside he has as an outside wide receiver. I think he does a lot of his work on the inside in the slot, but maybe he can return kicks for you and just be a fun weapon. I think that Brandon Staley would like to have at his disposal.
I don't even gotta really think about this. Ideally, I would really, really like to get Ryan Kerrigan back, but I think this move right here just signals what Washington is doing, man. We're just moving forward, man. We're just at a different era, man. We traded Trent Williams. I would love to re-sign Ryan Kerrigan, man, and hopefully, compete with Kellen Mond, and honestly, maybe Ryan Fitzpatrick this year, Kellen Mond in the future, but, honestly, man, Rashad Weaver is the best player rated right here, and he is the best player on the board, and that's who I'm going with, man. It's an edge defender out of Pitt, man. Another Pitt defender, like I said, man, I like to go to multiple schools, man. I'm just thinking about the two most explosive players that I saw in Pitt's defense last year. It was definitely them.
Well, you're on the clock again.
Holy crap.
3 picks later.
Dude, I'm loving this haul right now, dude. Honestly, man, Washington might want to hire me after this because I'm liking these players.
Have you gone wide receiver yet?
No, I'm going Shi Smith. This one's easy. I was going to take Shi Smith last, but dude, Rashad Weaver was there. I couldn't pass on him again.
No, that's just kind of you just have to take the most talented player on the board.
Right. I mean, just another weapon, dude. Like Curtis Samuel Insurance, or honestly, man, just again another player, just another great player falling.
Right now, I am looking at getting maybe some depth for the offensive line. I am going to go Drake Jackson here from Kentucky. Mauler, I think he's strictly an interior guy. I don't think he's like Vera Tucker where you could swing him out maybe to tackle. He played center, so honestly, that's just what I want to do there. And it might be reaching for need just a little bit, but honestly, you're not going to find a lot of Chargers mock drafts where you only have them taking one offensive lineman.
Dude, how many proposed trades have I seen with the Washington thing today?
A lot.
Like crazy. Like, I'm thinking about the haul that we already got. I'm thinking about how many trades have been proposed or whatever, and now we got another back-to-back coming up right after you. It's like, this is crazy, man. Like, I'm thinking about this haul right now, and it's like, it's not even about the haul. It's about the piece that I started the haul with, man. Like, it's like, I passed on two guys that are just, three guys that are really just I am absolutely in love with his prospects, man. But, when you are absolutely sold on a quarterback, man, you go get that guy. I'm thinking about, what a team would actually do. And, passing on Terrace Marshall, man, it's hard. But, I'm thinking, what good is a third receiver with a quarterback that's on a one-year deal? And I do not like the quarterback class coming out next year. It's there's a lot of work that needs to be done on film for those guys to stand out to me. Not saying I won't this time next year, because honestly, some guys going to put out good film next year.
I took Jarrett Patterson, a running back from Buffalo, because I think he might be the most talented running back outside of when it comes to day 3 running backs.
I can see that.
I think he is just a pure downhill runner, one cut, running between the tackles. And he ran for a zillion yards at Buffalo, and he is he's local to our area. He's from PG County, Maryland, which is pretty cool. So
always cool with the homeschool guys. That's why it's hard for me to pass on freaking Dareshaw, dude. It's I love local kids, man.
Mm-hmm.
You hear about them in high school, you hear about them all the time, man. They're just
we are in round 7 now.
Round 7, man. I'm not gonna try to get too cute with this.
No, just taking. Have you guys took a running back? You took Michael Carter.
Yeah, we took a running back, man. Actually, I'm gonna take a weapon, man, that actually kind of impressed me. I think he's something that we do not have. Well, I think we actually brought in a player very similar to this. I'm going with another receiver, Dax Milne from BYU, man. He was Zach Wilson's main target, man.
Yeah.
This guy works routes, man. And he's definitely not an explosive athlete, bigger body guy. Actually, he's probably better for the slot, even though he's a big slot. But honestly, man, I more pass catchers than I care to go for, usually in a draft. But honestly, man, one of these guys will hit. Between Brevin Jordan, Shi Smith, and Dax Milne, I promise you, one of those guys will hit.
Well, I can't believe I didn't take a tight end.
I was about to say, you can make my last pick. I don't even I'm good.
You probably have more. Wait, never mind. No, that's it.
Okay,
I'm going to do something really stupid here. I'm just going to take Lorenzo Neal's son because I actually kind of liked watching him at Texas A&M. And I don't know. This is my mock draft. I can do whatever I want.
We can do what we want.
Oh, wait. Was that the last pick? Yeah, that's what I took for y'all.
Yeah, that's what I was I was like, dude, you can make your last pick. I'm good. All right, so we're going to recap this, and we'll actually look over other teams and who was selected. We'll tell you if it's kind of realistic in our opinion or not. But
yeah, we can go to all picks. We can go through the first round and just have some fun and talk about it. But looking at what you got, it's kind of hard to say that you guys didn't just win the draft without even looking at all the other teams. I mean, obviously, taking Kellen Mond at 31, good morning, Pete Schrager is going to be wanting to talk about that.
It's a gamble. It's a gamble. If you identify your quarterback, man, you go get your quarterback. And, moving back is a risk. But for what he's rated, man, I was willing to do that and pick up, a bunch of future picks, man. I feel like honestly, man, I just retooled this team, with more youth. Honestly, this is a very young, talented, fast football team. And I did nothing to change that with these picks.
No, you did not. You definitely got faster, and I think you got. I like the way Jabril Cox slides into your defense at linebacker.
Dude, I think that guy, dude.
Put him at the mic. You got him, Cole Holcomb. who else would you guys have? Do you guys still have Kevin Pierre-Louis, or is he gone?
No, he walked. We let him go in free agency.
I'm sure you guys have re-signed John Bostic.
He's still here. That's what the Cox pick is about. I want somebody to play over Cox or over Bostic. I mean, the biggest thing for me was you know, in a perfect world, Washington, in my opinion, like a real live scenario with where people actually have Mond rated. My ideal is pick Christian Darrisaw in the first, maybe move up in the second for a Jamin Davis, like really high in the second, and then use that third on Kellen Mond. If I could get those three players, those are my three favorite players for this team. Is Christian Darrisaw, Kellen Mond, and Jamin Davis. I wanted to do this draft to where we basically move back, pick Kellen Mond in the first for the 5-year option, and then see what I could do with it. And honestly, man, like when I'm looking at this haul, it isn't maybe the just like just big beef, like just an athletic tackle. It's not maybe that, but like Hudson's a comparable player, man. Really, in my opinion, he's definitely not.
I like Hudson a lot.
He's not Christian Darrisaw, but he is a good solid football player. And then like I picked a lot of good solid football players that are athletically really gifted. And I mean, they're football players.
I like that Michael Carter pick at 94.
Love the Michael Carter pick.
That's tremendous value. Just looking over my class, I mean, I think I've done so many mocks where I've gone Elijah Vera Tucker and Asante Samuel 1-2 that's just, you know, I'm almost kind of worn out from talking about it. But I mean, honestly, if that's my 1-2, I feel like you drafted two starters for, you know, the future of, you know, your Super Bowl run. And
I mean, you know, Elijah Vera Tucker is like that dude inside.
Nazir Adderley just hasn't been working out as safety, and I think Richie Grant could actually maybe slide out and play corner on the inside if he wanted to.
I mean, I know you talked about Elijah Vera Tucker, but like I'm thinking all pro, like all pro interior lineman.
I think he's
got that type of tape.
I think he might have maybe the highest floor at guard in this draft, other than maybe Wyatt Davis. But I just think Wyatt Davis is more just a run blocking. Like I
think he is a premier player.
Vera Tucker pulls, he finishes, he blocks, and whenever his quarterback goes down, you best believe he's going to be in the defender's face. He's nasty. Him and Tevin Jenkins are my two favorite linemen in this class, and it's just
I just feel like Elijah Vera Tucker is going to be. He is almost like the surest thing for me at O-line getting a top 5 contract when he goes to re-sign, after 5 years.
I think he just, you know, I think a lot of people would be probably criticizing me for passing on a tackle or maybe not taking a surefire left tackle in this draft.
You don't. I mean, it's not about. See, that's the thing. Me and you talk about this a lot. It's not about the position. It is about the premier player throughout that unit, dude. Like you can scheme a good left tackle when you have 3 amazing players on the offensive line around it, dude. Like honestly, man, like you will always have a running back to chip, a tight end to chip. Like you will always be able to like do certain things with an elite edge guy, and an elite edge guy is going to get his numbers whether he's against a premier left tackle or not. So like I'm sorry, like it's not always about whatever, dude. I'm telling you though, you have Elijah Vera Tucker against a all-pro defensive tackle, and you're keeping Herbert's face clean. I'm telling you, man, for a quarterback, that's what the quarterback wants. The quarterback is okay with bailing out. He hates when he can't step up.
And when it comes down to it, I just picked the best player on my board that was a position of need. So it's like I can't complain. And honestly, I think my second favorite pick in this draft is Tyler Shelvin. I think he just eats blocks, and I think it's gonna translate. He might only be a 2-down lineman, to be honest. He might not be he might not be able to be go in, or he may not be your third and long kind of guy.
I love Ellerson Smith.
I like Ellerson Smith.
I think he groomed across from Joey Bosa, and you might have something there, dude. That boy is explosive.
Yeah, you have Nwosu coming off the edge, and you can put Ellerson Smith's hand in the dirt. You can line him up at 3-4 outside linebacker.
Like you know how we always talk about edge. I'm not drafting a hard-working edge. Like if he's got a hard motor and he's an athletic freak, I'm telling you, I will teach that boy some fundamentals, man. I need a guy with juice, man. I need a guy that has elite potential. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe he doesn't have the tools right now or whatever, man. That's what the coaches are for. That's what NFL coaching is for. And I'm telling you, Brandon Staley with Ellerson Smith, it's a whole lot of tools that he can mold into that toolbox for.
I like Shi Smith with Terry and Curtis Samuel. I think that's Brevin Jordan.
I like it, man. It might not be a lot of height. It doesn't have a lot of height, but it's
a lot of speed.
It's a lot of speed and a lot of explosion, man. If Brevin Jordan stays healthy, dude, I'm telling you, man, that guy with Logan Thomas is crazy in the 13 personnel set.
Yeah, I like you. You went Dax Moline, BYU.
Yeah, dude, it was
Nice
just
little fun pick there.
best player. It was. I didn't want to search too far down the board, honestly, man. Like, and I felt like Dax Moline. Like, honestly, man, if I'm getting Dax Moline in the 7th round, man, that's a hard working football player, man. You could just tell. You could just tell him and Zach Wilson, man. If you watch Zach Wilson over the course of his career, him and Dax Moline are definitely in sync with each other, man. So I'm thinking about a guy that works hard. It's in the 7th round, man. If you get anything,
I don't think I've ever seen a bad 7th round pick.
right, right, exactly, man. Like, you know,
you really can't screw it up.
like I said, more pass catchers than I care to go for, man. I really like to.
You had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 picks. So
10 picks, and I don't feel like I went wrong with them. And I mean, honestly, man, I mean, you know, Michael Carter's another guy that you can line up wide. Like, honestly, you could probably play that guy in the slot with his hands, man. This guy that's a North Carolina running back, man. I'm telling you, them UNC running backs, man. Trust me, I could, like, Javonte Williams was hard to pass for me. Like,
yeah.
Like, Javonte Williams is a
I
dog.
can't be passed on ETN.
I got Michael Carter. I'm just as cool with that.
Yeah,
like the value. You know how we always preach it. We always preach value. Me and you were like, we are always concrete on the value of the draft. It's
right.
It's like yeah, ETN was there.
ETN at 54 or whatever more valuable than Michael Carter at 94.
Like compared to what I can get at linebacker at 94 compared to picking Cox.
Right,
in that spot. It's always about
second round.
Yes,
it's a sweet spot.
It's about maximizing the class. It's about finding the best player. I know linebacker down in the 3rd, 4th round is not going to give me the same type of player that running back will. I'm not going to get the same type of pass catcher, or I'm not going to get the same kind of linebacker as I can in pass catcher in this draft. I'm not going to get the same kind of linebacker that I'm going to get at cornerback. Right. You know, like or safety in this draft. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just have to know where the strength of the draft is. And honestly, man, like, Jabril Cox is the last linebacker that was on that list beside Browning.
No, Browning went early.
That's what I'm saying. Like, dude, like, but there's only so many guys at linebacker that I even want for this team. So it's like, if you didn't get one of them, man, you just lost out. So, like, realistically, Jabril Cox was the last one that I was willing to walk away from. And I couldn't. I can't walk away from that guy. And like you said, ETN, very hard to pass, man, but like Michael Carter, man, a very similar skill set, man. Like, honestly, man, a running back, man, is one contact away from, you know, missing a whole season, man. And I feel like Michael Carter is he's a very similar player, man. Like, he's not Travis Etienne. We'll never compare, like, we'll never say he is. But who knows on Sundays? If one's on the injury report all the time and the other one isn't, man, and, you know, one's producing and one isn't, you know, you just don't know. And honestly, man, like I said, I'm going to maximize the pick, man. Jabril Cox was maximizing that pick for me. I'm
going over the first round.
Yeah, man. Let's talk about the first round a little bit, man. We definitely got to be homers.
Definitely did.
I really like it, dude. 10 picks, man. I freaking love them. You know, Perry Ford's my guy.
A lot of these kind of just look like par for the course. I mean, you had Farley going to the Cardinals, Parsons to the Raiders.
I think that's a huge pick for Las Vegas, man, is a Micah Parsons. They need anything they can get on the linebacker level, almost like we do. I mean, we're very similar in that, like where it's like we need that stud linebacker.
They'll probably just cut him when he gets, comes time to sign him. Just like they did Maurice Hurst and their offensive line. You know what's
funny is that's actually it doesn't seem like a Mike Mayock pick. I think that's more of a John Gruden pick than a.
Yeah. Darrisaw obviously got taken by the Chiefs, who moved up.
Great pick, dude. I mean, honestly, that's why. I mean, if I'm sticking in 19, it's between Kellen Mond and Christian Darrisaw. I mean, or Terrace Marshall, or Jamin Davis. I mean, those are the 4 names that I feel like are the best value at 19 when you get to that point. And I mean, Christian Darrisaw is like, he's the last, I think, of the tier of players that like are just like who you would want to pick if you're in the top 10, top 15. Like, honestly, man, like. Christian Darrisaw being there is a hard thing to trade back for, man. That's like, honestly, but for the sake of my draft, man, it just worked out that James Hudson was like still available later, because he's a player that I'm very high on, man. You turn on that Cincinnati tape, man, I'm telling you, he's like that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the second round. Cosme slipped to the second round. That's kind of interesting.
That's kind of interesting, man. I mean, I think it's possible. I don't. Damn, Kelvin Joseph to Philly, man. Philly really did themselves some favors in the first 2 rounds.
I know, with Devontae Smith
and Kelvin Joseph, man. That's 2 players I do not want in the division.
Did Cincinnati go Samuel Cosme and Jamar Chase? That's a nice little haul.
I like that. I like that BPA in the first, and they got the last of the good like linemen.
The Lions.
Terrace Marshall to the Lions. That's huge. Who'd they get in the first round? Because
Sewell.
Dude, I told you, get tough, dude. Get tough, Detroit. And that is, dude, you don't ever say wide receiver is getting tough. Terrace Marshall is that dude, man. I'm telling you, like, I'm super excited to see what Detroit can do with these picks from Stafford, dude, man. Like, honestly, dude, like, I really hope. Like, I hope they do not marry themselves to golf. I think they can compete with golf, and I think they can evaluate their roster with golf. But, dude, a course for this offseason for Detroit, man. And, like, I don't know why I'm so passionate about it, but I just, like, me and him were talking about this before the offseason started, like, when the Super Bowl was coming around. We were like, dude, what team would you really like to be a part of right now? And I was like, to like overhaul. And I was like, dude, Detroit. I was like, I would love to move to Stafford. I would love to move on from Stafford and have a chance to just rebuild that team, man. And I'm telling you, if you came away with Penny Sewell and Terrace Marshall as your first 2 picks for Detroit, and you got 2 first-rounders next year and 2 first-rounders the year after, I'm telling you what, man, Detroit, you guys should be feeling pretty happy about that. That's a good start. That's a good start for it. I don't know what the coaching staff's going to be. I'm pulling for him. I actually like the guy.
There are a couple things. Grusso to the Seahawks in the second round.
Hello.
Interesting. Wyatt Davis to the Rams.
Dude, I actually like the Russo, man. That's a very
Travis Etienne to Buffalo
very Michael
in the second
Bennett,
round.
Very Michael Bennett-like player.
Do you think there's any way Travis Etienne slips to 61 to the Bills?
I mean, it's running back, dude, and like he is one of those like. He's a one-cut go running back, man. So, like, realistically, man, you're not going to run him in a power scheme. You gotta have a team that's run-centric almost, but where they will use their running backs heavy in the pass game. So it's like, honestly, like, Travis Etienne is like one cut and go, and then he needs to be involved in the pass game. So, like, you have to think about the teams that are going to pick him. Who picked him?
Buffalo.
That is the perfect pick!
You know, Buffalo took in the first round, Joe Tryon.
Okay. You want to talk about getting your Super Bowl, and the team that deserves the Super Bowl is Buffalo, and Joe Tryon in the first round and Travis Etienne in the second. Thank you. I finally get to see Buffalo in the Super Bowl. Dude, that is money in the bank right there, dude. That is a freak athlete at edge coming off there with Travis Etienne in the second round for Josh Allen to like just be able to like have us that safety blanket, man. You want to talk about getting Josh Allen his real chance at a Super Bowl? I love that for them.
Well, unfortunately, Kansas City gets Quinn Miners and Christian Darrisaw in the first 2 rounds. So.
I mean, you know what? But Kansas City was going to. I mean, they were going to retool with young linemen. I mean, they had to.
Wow, Jalen Mayfield in the 3rd round. How did I not trade up for Jalen Mayfield? I'm a Michigan guy.
I mean, honestly, I only think Jalen Mayfield falls to the 3rd because of maybe his pro day type thing. I mean, Pat Freiermuth in the 3rd round. I know so many people are high on this guy, but like I'm not. And like honestly, I'm happy that he went in the 3rd round because that's where I feel like his value is, and I feel like Cincinnati maximized that. So Cincinnati right now has
Davis Mills to the Dolphins.
Ooh, interesting. I think logical.
We have another.
I think that's logical.
Who's that remind?
I'll tell you what.
That reminds me of Jalen Hurts.
I tell you what. If Davis Mills gets picked by Miami for real, that speaks really about what they think about Tua Tagovailoa. But that is logical, dude. Davis Mills is a pro system quarterback, and he will run that offense. If he can stay healthy, man, that boy probably could beat Tua Tagovailoa out.
I mean, we're literally
Ramondre Stevenson's to the Falcons in the 4th. I like that.
Yeah.
Nazareth Dean to the Bengals. Dude, the Bengals are hitting it out of the park.
Yeah.
I like what the
This reminds me of like the Darius. No, who that one year that the Bengals knocked that draft out of the park? They drafted the defensive tackle. No, K1. No, was it K1 short? No.
Geno Atkins?
No, I don't remember. It was like 2011. That was a long time ago.
Well, that's. Dude, I really like what Detroit did. I'm really liking what Detroit did. And then Andre Sisco to the Eagles, yeah. That's a. I mean, take your shot, man. At a super.
Sean Wade to the Packers.
Melifanu to the.
Walker Little to the Steelers.
Steelers loaded up like they always do.
Yeah, they took RJ in the first round.
Hey, I love it. I love it for that team. If the Steelers really want to go try to make a run at the Super Bowl, they need a stud running back. Like that's the only way they're going to get it with Ben. I mean, Big Ben can't be out here throwing the ball like he is.
I want to see who took Kyle Trask. I still haven't seen him.
I saw Kyle Trask.
Oh, where'd he go?
Go to the 3rd round.
That's 2, 3.
Kyle Trask was not far after our pick or something, or your pick.
Trask.
Go second round. He was the second round then.
Oh.
Okay, fourth. It might have been the fourth. It might have been the fourth, but he wasn't far down on the list. I know that, but I did see him.
Okay. Ooh, perfect.
Where?
Giants.
I love it. Please, gentlemen, please. Danny Jones
You gifted the Chiefs Dillashaw, and now you're getting...
That is karma. That is karma, dude. I'm telling you, dude. Danny Dimes and Kyle Trask on New York, dude. Thank you. Please. They'll still beat us somehow. They just always do.
Leading the blind.
They always do, dude. Like, I'm telling you, they just find a way to go full Rain Man when they play Washington.
Let's see who the Mr. Irrelevant pick was, just for fun. Honestly, someone I don't have a scouting grade on. Wild Goose Jr. or Rashad Wild Goose. I know the name. I just honestly don't remember.
I know the quarterback that went before him, and he's actually pretty entertaining to watch. And Zach Smith from Tulsa, he's a toolsy guy for Pittsburgh.
Run on the quarterbacks in the 7th round.
Yeah, that was last couple picks.
KJ Britt had a good Senior Bowl. Remember the linebacker?
Yeah. I mean, that's a heck of a value for down that low.
Avery Williams has special teams upside. I know the Chargers have been bringing him in for doing interviews with him.
Dude, I kind of like this, man. I really actually like a couple teams for this little simulator, man. Like I said, Detroit, man. Detroit can just do as long as they get tough. As long as Detroit uses all their picks for tough players, man, that is how you start this rebuild. Mm-hmm. Cincinnati, love what they did, man. Went BPA in the first. I'm not a real big Jamar. I'm not like on the Jamar Chase Kool-Aid drinker like level, but like, dude, if Kyle Pitts wasn't there, so simple as that, man. I probably would have switched it up. I probably would have went Jalen Waddle, Miami did. But you know what, dude? Like, you can't go wrong with Jamar Chase, man. He's rated that high for a reason, man. He's a physical freak. He's a monster.
You have him and T. Higgins and Boyd.
Right. T. Higgins got Pat Freiermuth in the third. Like, honestly, man, like, it's not. My knock on Freiermuth isn't that he isn't a good player. It's just he's not my type of football player. And honestly, for like Cincinnati in the third, that's a heck of a value. Like, I just don't like him for Washington, man. Like, he's just not the type of player that I want. And, maybe Brevin Jordan needs to be a little bit more Pat Freiermuth in the blocking department, but honestly, Pat Freiermuth isn't much better. So, like, I'm sorry. Like, people say he's a good blocker and call him Baby Gronk all they want, but I'm sorry. Wearing an 87 doesn't qualify you as earning a nickname to me. Like, I see different things on tape than what people clearly like are
maybe
reading.
He's a baby Jared Cook.
Yeah, like, honestly, dude, that's what I see. Like, I don't see elite level. I just don't see elite level talent. But, like, in the third round, that's a heck of a time, man. You get time to develop this guy. You got Joe Burrow as quarterback, dude. So, trust me, like, that's a really good fit for him.
So, let's just, for fun, let's look at what Jacksonville did.
Okay, Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence. Who else did they grab? Elijah Moore, dude. Dude, I kind of like that. Elijah Moore. Alex Leatherwood.
Dude, that kind of gives them their Amari Rodgers.
Javon Holland and
friggin' Jacksonville. Why do they?
And Javonte Williams.
Jacksonville always has a way of just taking, like, one guy throughout the draft that just, I kind of like.
They screwed it up with Leatherwood.
But they took Josh Allen that year. Not the stud Kentucky edge, man. Just wait till you see Jamin Davis on tape, dude. I'm telling you this.
Robert Rochelle is probably one of my favorite corners from Central Arkansas. He's very underrated.
I tell you what, you want to talk about a 10-time All-Pro, dude? Put Jamin Davis behind the Washington football team's front line. Beast.
Well, I mean, I think you can put a lot of people behind the Washington front line. They look
but dude, Jamin Davis is just like
David Moore from Grambling. It's like Jacksonville just killed it.
Yeah,
I think Duval's happy.
Hello. Don't have one.
No, I guess not.
You'll just have to imagine the fire.
Yeah, we're really over here dissecting Mustafa Johnson.
Hello.
I don't think I watched a single Colorado game this year.
I definitely did. It was very actually unentertaining though.
Wow. Well, anyways, I think this is
I think it's been fun. Did a little Hummer draft for you. Gave you some different takes on some different teams. Like to break it down. In fact, before we leave, what did Carolina do? Rashawn Slater?
Yeah, they took.
Okay, that's a guy we're just not that high on. Like, honestly, he's a very highly rated prospect. He's very versatile, man. But like, I'm sorry. Like, I just when your best like draft point from like other things is turn on the Chase Young tape. Well, okay, turn on Jalen Mayfield's Chase Young tape, dude. Like, everybody steps up. Like, if you're a man, dude, like, and you're going against a grown man, like, you know, and like everybody's hyping that dude up, of course you're going to give that guy his best game. But like, he doesn't have he's not an elite outside left tackle. I think Verrett Tucker actually has more potential inside than he does. And like, they talk about him being a center. Like, when they start talking about this guy being able to do this and this and this and this and this and this and this, and I'll turn on this tape and like whatever, like, well, what about the other tape?
I feel like those are all excuses.
It is. It's like just a way to like pad this guy up. And like, I'm sorry, like, Slater is a padded up guy for me. Aaron Robinson. I like Aaron Robinson. Aaron Robinson in the second round. UCF. Yeah. I mean, UCF is a school I love watching. I feel like that's I think they're starting to get. I think
Dante Jackson, but
right. I think they're on their way down. I think they're kind of like on their way down. UCF as a program. The coaches at Florida State now, so I think UCF is kind of starting to fall off. You saw signs of it this year. Tommy Tremble. Dude, I actually like Tommy Tremble.
I think the LA Chargers fan base is in love with Tommy Tremble, and like I can see why, but I don't think he's very dynamic. It's just like, are you gonna like draft a tight end in the second or the third round just because he's like as an amazing blocker? Like, I mean, sure, but
Mad Max just passed Mike Mussina on MLB's all-time strikeout list.
Oh wow!
Get a little baseball now.
Breaking news on the pod.
Yeah, man. Okay, I think we got it. The Bears didn't jump out to me like I would kind of have hoped they would have done.
No, they took Tevin Jenkins. That stands out to me.
That one stands out to you. I just thought
I like Tev.
I mean, actually, for Chicago, they have a knack for like taking the little bit like not as physically gifted guys and like making them. Yeah, I mean, dude, like Chicago always turns out good players, man. They just have a problem drafting quarterbacks, which I mean, I can't say nothing.
Yeah, Chicago does just enough to probably go 8-9 again. Also, Debo. They go Debo.
Dude, I like a Debo.
I do too. I think he has upside.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like I said, it just didn't jump out to me. Like they just did. Yeah, they just didn't. It just like all their picks, it never caught my eyes.
No, I think the Bengals was a bell of the ball right here, and Buffalo.
Detroit
Buffalo killed it.
Buffalo, dude. Buffalo, yeah, Buffalo.
That's all I need to see is Joe Tryon and who they taking?
ETN. Yeah, right. Just
money in the bank.
Just cancel it out. We're good.
Yeah,
you got it. Yeah, so this is the I Test Football Podcast, a football podcast by fans for fans, a little mock draft simulator. Think you do the Draft Network.
Yeah,
definitely shouted you guys out. I know you don't need it.
Shout out to the draft dudes. You guys are awesome. You guys do great work.
We listen to your show daily. We are definitely fans. Definitely smart guys too.
Yep.
Hopefully, Marino's happy. Marino should be very happy with his Buffalo Bills on this mock draft simulator.
Definitely should be.
Maybe he should quote the show for this because we just blessed him with like two amazing players.
All right, is that a wrap?
That's a wrap for me, man.
All right, thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll catch you guys later.
Awesome, thank you.